Now, when we are simplifying equations, alright, an example of an equation that needs to be simplified would be 12r plus 5 plus 3r minus 5. Okay, now, when we're doing this, the first thing that we want to do is find the like terms, alright? If you do not remember what a like term is any time they share the same variable. Alright? They have the same letter connected to them. Okay? So if we look at this, the first one we have is 12r. Okay? Well, what other variable, or what other term here has an r as its variable? The positive 3 here. Alright? So we're going to bring those two together. What's 12 plus 3? 15r. Can't forget that r. Alright, so now we've combined these terms. Alright. Next, we have a positive 5 and a negative 5. Now these go together because they don't have variables. Since neither of them have a variable, that makes them a like term, which means we can go ahead and combine these. Now what's positive 5 plus a negative 5? 0. Which means I don't need to write anything. My answer is 15r. Okay? Now, I'll do some more examples, so don't stress out just yet. Alright, let's say we have n plus 4 minus 9 minus 5n. Alright, now before we even start, this first n right here, how many n's are there? 1. It's important that you remember that that's a 1 there. Even though they didn't list it, that's 1 n. Now, I need to combine my like terms. So I have a 1n, and then I have a negative 5n. If I add those together, what do I get? Negative 4n.
Why negative?
Because when the signs are different, you subtract and keep the larger number's sign. Okay, and that's something we're going to review here in a little bit again. Alright. Once we've canceled those out, we can look towards our regular numbers. We've got a positive 4. We've got a negative 9. Well, what's positive 4 plus negative 9?
5. Negative 5.
Negative 5. So plus a negative 5. And we're done right there. That is our simplified version. Okay? Alright. Let's look at an easy one. Let's say I have negative r minus 10r. Well, I have this term and I have this term, and they are both like terms because they both have r as their variable. Now this is, again, negative 1. Can't make that a 1. So negative 1 plus negative 10 is negative 11. And then we can't forget that r. Negative 11r is the simplified version. Okay? Now, I do want to go over our rules for adding and subtracting integers. Alright? Had a lot of confusion this morning, so this is something we've got to review. We spent the first 3 weeks of school covering this, so we can't afford to forget it. Alright? When signs are the same, you're going to add and keep the sign.
I still have those notes.
Alright, I'm glad you still have those notes. Now, an example would be 1 plus 1 is 2. Because a positive 1 plus a positive 1 equals 2. A negative 1 plus a negative 1, signs are the same, we add, and we keep the sign. Okay? Now, the other thing that will happen are the signs are different. Alright? In that case, you subtract and keep the larger sign. Okay? Examples of this would be 3 plus a negative 2. We subtract and we get 1. The larger number was 3 and it was a positive, so our answer is going to be positive. The other way would be negative 3 plus positive 2. Signs are different, so we subtract and get 1. The larger number is 3. It was a negative, so our answer is a negative. Okay? This is major review from week 1, so it's important that you remember these rules. Right. Now, the other thing that we're going to learn today that's brand new, alright, is called the distributive property. Now, you've never done this, so it's important that you pay attention. An example of distributive property would be something like 3 parentheses 2n plus 5. Now, what operation is happening right here?
It's multiplication.
It's multiplication. The fact that it's right next to it with no sign means multiplication. So, the way you're going to change it to get rid of this parentheses is by distributing this 3. And what I mean by that is you're still going to multiply, but you're going to multiply first 3 times 2n. Well, what's 3 times 2?
6n.
And we're going to keep that in. Plus 3 times 5. What is that?
15.
There we go. We've distributed the 3. And we get rid of the parentheses. Alright, let me do another example of that. Alright, let's say it's 2 parentheses negative 3 plus negative 2n. Alright, we're going to distribute the 2. So what's 2 times negative 3? Plus 2 times negative 2. Negative 4n. There we go. We've distributed it. Now, the way that's going to come into play in this paper. Alright, let's say we have 9a plus 10 parentheses 6a minus 1. Alright, and they want us to simplify this. Alright, well now our first step needs to be to go ahead and distribute, to get rid of those parentheses. So I'm going to have 9a is going to stay the same because it's away from the parentheses. Plus, now I need to distribute 10 times 6a. 60a. Plus 10 times negative 1. Negative 10. Alright, so now we're back to where we were at the beginning. Combined like terms. We've got 9a and we have a positive 60a. What happens when I bring those together? 69a. Alright. And then we have nothing else to go with this, so it's just plus a negative 10. And we're done. Alright. So it's the same thing we've done. The only thing that was different was that we had to add that distribution there. Alright? Alright.